right, good afternoon, everyone. It is July 23rd, 3:07 p.m. And we're starting, like again, bargaining between LCEA and LCS. Welcome, everybody. Well, since it feels like yesterday. This Tuesday, we had discussions back and forth regarding classroom teacher salary increase allocation and the village referendum. So, and we discussed language. So if you want me, I'll start to pass the language, pass the agenda and the ballot. I got it. I got one. I got one. Okay, now that everybody has a copy, in looking at your language and our language, I just want to begin by saying, I basically what I did is I merged the two, and I do agree that we need to basically come as a front together regarding House Bill 5001E and the classroom teacher salary increase allocation. I like your idea with the purpose and background. I just expanded it because I think it will benefit everybody so that they can actually see the language in the law as a quote. It's nothing that LCEA is saying or LCS is saying. It's something coming right from the bill as a purpose and background. So what I did is I went through your document and I merged into the MOU that I had previously provided and accepted the purpose and background, the first bullet, part of the second bullet, part of the third bullet. I'm not sure if I want to give you time to read it, or do you want me to go through the whole entire document once again?
Well, unless anything changed from our conversation yesterday.
Right. Oh, and I want to say we also had conversation yesterday regarding working on language. Nothing has changed except what we discussed, that if you wanted to change was the tables, if you wanted to put a range instead of a static number,
Okay.
because it would work both ways. The MOU would work both ways. So I wanted you to have an opportunity to review with your bargaining team regarding the language and how I translate it into the MOU. I would like to say publicly is that I did find out that the allocation is not going to change. So I did put the allocation, the full allocation, the 2.1 to the cent. That's not going to change. And that was guidance provided by the Deputy Commissioner of Finance and Operations to every district. So at least I know that I deleted one of those big bullets that I had, that if it would increase or decrease, not needed.
So as we discussed yesterday, it looked like most of the stuff that you had proposed, you had added. And I know it's a little bit confusing because you had sent us a document with all of our language highlighted and what you kept and what you struck, and then you created this version. So what we did is took your final draft version and made some slight changes based on the conversation that we had yesterday. There's the things that we had talked about. So we kept our key at the top and we used the bold underline and blue, so you can see what we actually added. So it's different from this version.
Okay.
Yes. Got excited. Yeah.
Okay. The second page.
Oh, yeah, the second page. So we did.
I need to reverse the band.
Yeah, we flipped the band.
That's fine.
So but it's the same thing. It's just we had the top band for the most money, the 21 plus years.
So you want me to put at the top the larger amount, basically?
Yes.
All right. Now, to clarify, I said that there is no issue with the ranges. Just be aware, it always stands to whatever amount of teachers. So the range is fine, but if a teacher that's in band B, for instance, 1,800, depending on the amount of teachers that qualify, I will have to adjust. So it can potentially even go below the 1,800, but it can also go above 2,000. Chances are very slim based on the reappointed employees. Right. So it all comes down to how many non-reappointed employees are reappointed by September.
And then does it matter that, because your band A was the 10 and our band A is 21, is there anything in the language that would mess up that we need to call that band C instead of band A?
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
and
his
that
next bullet has all the different things.
Yes, I will have to change the language on the other side, but that's a normal change.
Or we could just change the letter in the table.
Yeah, but it will look weird.
Maybe
Then it'll be
Yeah,
band
you go
C, B,
CBA.
A.
The whole purpose is you want it at the top, that's fine,
Yeah.
we'll change the language on the other bullet.
Okay.
You will have to give me time for me to go caucus through that change.
Right. So just the next bullet, you would need to make sure that the bands match.
So, yeah. I gotta go back. LCA will receive a report of every instructional employee with their band via Monday will receive, and if they qualify after September 15th cutoff,
So that's what we talked about on the phone.
they don't qualify after the September 15th.
Right, so we're saying that we'll receive that data set.
By then.
After that date.
To that date, after September 15th, you'll give us the date of who does call, or for all the employees and if they qualify or not.
So should that be worded differently?
I think so, but I don't have an issue with the statement.
Okay,
I just gotta, I think I gotta.
for clarity,
That's fine.
we can reword it.
Yeah, that's not a problem. I don't, so you want a report?
Yes.
Of, yes, that is not a problem.
And then the last piece that we looked at, the language we originally presented that was crossed out, and we modified it slightly and added it back. So the old language actually said like 2,000 employees, we removed that. So it just says, recognizing the value of all educators, Lake County Schools shall make every effort to identify general fund dollars to provide additional compensation for educators excluded from the CTSIA as opposed to a number of 2,000. And that the district's objective shall be to match or exceed the total compensation allocated through CTSI, taking into account enrollment and budgetary needs.
All right, I only have one concern, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest about it. Clear, it's not about honest, but
Okay.
clear. Good faith bargaining is that's part of one of the other bullet, the top bullet, on the one on top of it, performance-based pay and all that.
Right,
That's that's gonna come from general fund dollars. But provide additional compensation for educators excluded from, I cannot provide additional compensation, performance pay, excluding a group of teachers.
okay. So
So-
how can we word this?
That's what I'm saying, like, I will, like, that's why I added the language that you requested. I expanded the bullet at the top,
Mhm.
saying issues concerning or other social supporting weight, and then I put all the other language that you put benefits, including but not limited to performance-based pay, which is the language that you requested, supplemental compensation, incentive compensation, and future compensation increases under the collect. Like, I'm adding every type of compensation that I can possibly give an employee, but I cannot exclude a group because one group got money that was written by law. So if I do performance pay, I
Right,
still,
performance pay is for everybody.
it's for everybody, but
Right,
any
but
other,
there's-
any other type of pay that I can do excluding would be a bonus. It wouldn't be,
Well, stipend
Or
and
it could be a
supplement,
supplement.
or it's,
just like we have a program specialist supplement or we
Okay.
have mentor supplement.
but again, that's part of the top, supplemental compensation. I already have it in the bullet.
So would it work if we just removed that last couple words? So it doesn't say for educators excluded from CPSIA and it just said provide additional compensation series.
Period. I understand the percentage up to assess for educators. Because that's part of. It's like I almost tried to put it at the beginning of the first bullet at the top. Recognize the level of LCS shall make every effort to identify general fund dollars to provide additional compensation for educators. Period. The agreement regarding the distribution of funds will here not prevent the part, and then put that, and then the last sentence of the district. I cannot guarantee that I can match, that we will match or put an objective. I mean, I understand the district's objective is to find compensation into account enrollment and budgetary changes. I guess I need a minute.
Yeah.
I guess it'll.
Yeah, because it's more about an intent of a goal, like an aspirational goal, again, to try to communicate to the folks that are feeling really left out right now, and if we want this to pass, and we want everyone in the bargaining unit to vote for it, I think saying.
All right, so would you give me time to caucus and I go back and
Yeah.
give me a minute so that I can
Sure, yeah,
figure out how we can come up to an agreement on that. I
okay,
do agree with the top sentence if I need to, but for some reason, I feel like if they qualify after the September, like that portion doesn't read well at the top.
yeah, we can rephrase that.
Yeah, I,
Fifteenth, not first,
No, return,
by September 15th.
when we first proposed it, it was
No.
September first.
It was the 15th, because they are in, correct me if I'm wrong, it's September 15th that they're hired by September.
No, 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 no.
No,
The negotiation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Different September.
Okay.
September is when I pulled the data, September first, if you want, you will propose that language, so I put it in.
This is,
Yeah,
let's get school started and
yeah.
that's good.
Yeah,
Got
Get a
that.
number.
Yeah,
I removed the word immediately, so.
Yes,
yeah, we saw that,
Yeah,
thank you.
I didn't, you don't have to worry about that, so, okay. So. We are there, it's just a matter of figuring these two bullets out.
okay.
Okay.
Do you wanna do the referendum one too, and then you
Yes,
copy?
yeah, that will be in caucus and position. All right, you want me to go, so because I need to give you feedback.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and pass.
Do you want our copy as well, which has the changes we talked about on the phone?
I mean, absolutely, you decide once we talk about that,
Okay,
and then you can pass it if you want.
okay.
Let me just. You want one for me? Your next one.
Oh, yeah, this will have to go.
I know how many we will bring.
We surprised you, Sonny.
Okay. So
I see you used to flip it struck.
I'm gonna go through starting with the renumbering, I picked the numbering, okay? The years, the striking of the year, you were asking me about maybe putting it July 27, I think it is, and all that. All right, so when in discussing with finance, Mr. Ward, he explained to me the schedule of how the taxes get levied and all that. He upfronts the cost to cover it while he in the process to get the money and all that. The problem is, in lieu of where we are with the general with the general fund balance, he doesn't want to he can't right now predict that he'd be able to do that until he receives the funds. So that's why he'd rather leave it the way it was with the years. That doesn't mean that it might change from now to if it passes and all that, because there's language that we're gonna come back anyway to discuss this MOU anyway. So that one I couldn't do. Then flip the paper, we're gonna go to the second page. I renumbered number 4 to number 3, and I added the language at the bottom that says LCS, I believe you wanted this language. LCS and LCA intend to return to negotiate how the 0.25 million funds allocated for instructional will be dispersed to instructional employees for salary increases. I believe we had it.
Yes.
I wrote a note regarding that. So I put that sentence. Then it goes to number 4. Flip the paper. You had requested about language about on the reporting and the actual having two of the 10 seats. So in discussion with the superintendent, we came up with this language. LCA may recommend individuals for superintendent consideration and appointing the committee. That also can come from board members, and board members, we can talk to board members to appoint somebody that you request. And you had mentioned about you wanted provided annual reports and all that. Well, part of the oversight committee is to look at the expenditures. So then I added a line that LCA should receive copies of all reports issued. And I meant to put Citizens Oversight Committee there. I just put committee, but that's the intent of it. You're gonna get a report of everything that committee discusses. And you had also, I believe that's what covers a little bit what you had discussed with me. Did I miss something? Oh, leftover. Sorry, I have
Oh,
another.
that too.
Yeah, the one that said number 7, that is number 6 now. And that one, that's not really to add the 0.75 mil is specifically set for safety and security and mental health. And that won't be open for discussion for any type of salary compensation.
We also requested number 5 to be changed to based on instead of with consideration.
Oh, that's right. Well, when I was speaking to the superintendent regarding this, because I added the other language, since we're coming back for, we're coming back, the intent to return, where is that? Since we're coming back to negotiate how we're doing the disbursement of instruction, but that's gonna be discussed at that time. So we don't wanna put a lot, she basically wants a general statement, not too many specifics at this time. We're not opposed to it, but we already put the language saying that we're gonna come back and negotiate how it's gonna be.
All right, so we'll pass out ours now,
Okay.
which has the things that you talked about. And again, because you had this version with the strikeouts and we had a draft final version, we took your draft final version.
Yeah, this one I didn't, I was able to speak to her for a very short period of time. We had a lot of meetings today, so I was able to draft this before coming here. I almost was gonna table it,
Oh.
but I didn't, I wanted to give you the feedback, so I worked hard on getting the language for you.
So we took your draft final version and
That's fine.
again added.
Or you
blue.
took away all the other stuff.
Yeah, 'cause you gave us a version with the strikeout.
Correct.
version, so.
Exactly, I gave you the, so you can see it.
So we took the final version that you had and then added the blue language. So similar to what you added about the intent to come back to the table,
One of the dates.
but we put it on number 2 and then said by January 5th.
So I was thinking of adding language once the referendum has passed, and you know why I did it? Because at the top it has whereas, like conditions.
Okay. So we could cross that part off and just say
Yeah.
LCA and.
Because we have it whereas the millage upon being passed, so it's already mentioned at the
Okay.
top.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
So,
So we can just start with LCS and LCA.
correct, that's why I started the other one the same way.
That makes sense. And then I heard what you said about the timing.
Correct.
Is there a way that we could word it to say, like, let's say we have your dates that you presented, 27, 28, all of that. But then could we add maybe to that these dates could be shifted depending upon the fund balance
Like
and,
a statement that says, these school years are estimates upon district receiving funds for.
Availability of funds.
Availability.
yeah, because I want to give people hope
Okay.
that if they are employed this year
So-
and they're helping pass this referendum, that they could get money from the
Okay,
referendum.
so then statement, I'm writing it out, statement that.
Oh, 27, 28.
Yeah, we forgot 2027 and 28 also.
Yes. Okay,
Okay. Okay, so you're good with that statement, adding something like that?
I'll have to work, yes, I'll have to
Okay.
work on the statement. At first glance, I don't see an issue, I just gotta have to take back the
Right.
discussion with the.
Okay. And then number 6, we had added that based on years of experience, but we were just talking about it and we think maybe the word isn't years of experience
Or services. like-
or years of service. It should be what, Patrick?
Years of instructional experience.
Years of instructional experience.
They're all years of experience for instructional employees
But years of service could be years of service to the district versus
versus
10 years in a different state. And because the original proposal was based on total instructional experience.
you got a point.
Very good.
We code that, instructional.
Yeah, you do. Oh, yeah, on the data files you sent had it in there. That's how we made the original numbers in there.
I just. in my
Well,
mind-
you had it, I think yours is separated so late. We had to add the two columns together, like
Correct.
private and then like.
Yeah, we separate it all, because it all depends what they submit. Okay, yes, I understand that.
Okay, and then we heard you about the 0.75. So that being said, we do have language in here that this could be adjusted each year as necessary or as needed, correct? That and anymore?
Sorry, moved it that way.
So it could be modified by mutual written agreement.
Yeah, in which case the parties will meet at a mutual agreement to negotiate updates to the, it's at the bottom.
Okay, turn the chat.
You have that already in the bottom, so.
And then for contingencies, we had added a language that we mentioned on the phone about an LCA representative who is a Lake County resident will be appointed to the committee by LCA. But I see your bullets that you added, and we would probably be open to these, but we'll need a caucus.
I know, and I understand, like, again, I won't be able to give you a final answer on this, so I gotta take that back to the superintendent,
Okay.
so. And I know number 8, I know definitely that one will not. That one is not. I mean, I'll bring it up, I'll show you, I will show the superintendent this copy and discuss it with senior staff, but that's what she was referring, that's not going to be agreed on.
And I understand that at this time that may be a challenge. But I think as we continue to have more conversations about the district budget, fund balance, what's going on with enrollment, all of those things. And we know how our district struggled with salaries, competitive salaries, that in the future, I think we need to look at all avenues and need to have more conversations about.
I understand.
Okay, so that being said, you want a caucus?
Yes, if you give me caucus, because one of the things that we need to agree is with this teacher salary increase allocation. And I would like to see if we can reach an agreement on this. Do you believe we can reach an agreement?
I think so.
Okay, so then let's caucus for a second so that I can go ahead and work on that language and come back.
Okay.
Hold on, give me a second. It is 3:33, we're pausing for caucus. Okay, it is 4:14 PM, we're returning back from caucus. Okay, you are receiving a copy right now of the changes that I made to the document. And with the language you requested, but I modified some language and I hope it's a happy medium. And I'll speak to it. I highlighted what I changed and I gotta give you time to read it, okay? Because I gotta make sure that it is okay. I reread it like 10 times. So page 1, there's nothing to change. Flip it to the back to page 2. Band A is now those amounts as specified. Band B is those amounts and band C is those amounts. Are we good with that?
Yes.
The paragraph that follows that, I have to change it to make sure the letter, so I need you to read it and make sure that I'm correct.
Thank you, Ben.
I'll let you read it for a second. For a few minutes, sorry.
Yes.
Thank you. Not that bad.
No, I got it. I've already changed it.
Since I flipped the table, I had to make sure the band specifics were correct.
Let's see, yes.
Are we okay with that paragraph?
I think we're still reading.
Okay, sorry.
Are you just talking about that one
That
paragraph?
one paragraph, yeah.
Yeah. I had pre-done it and yours matched mine.
Okay, so then we're good. So the bullet that you requested the report, the only reason I put 30 days, just give me some leeway. I'm in the middle of training. I will provide you as soon as the 15th hits, I'll start working on it and provide you as soon as I have it. It's not- Just give me 30 days and I'll provide you even the ones that don't qualify. Because you get a monthly report anyway that I have to provide you, so I have to build a second report for that.
Okay.
On
Okay.
the report that you're gonna give us, because you have identifying for which one, whether the employee qualifies, will you include then the code and years on that report so that we know what the disqualification is?
Yeah.
Whether it's
Just
code
like
or
that.
years?
Yeah, he's adding a couple of things, but it'll be the same report, right?
It will be the same report that you
Okay.
already have. It's just I'm gonna add it
I
up.
haven't really looked at that report, so.
Yeah. I gave you a report to help you identify and all that.
Mhm.
I have it, part of it pre-built. It's a matter of that refreshing it and then coding it correctly with the band labels. And
Yeah.
if you're okay with that bullet, then the last bullet, I looked at that language and are you okay with the way that I read that I rewrote that language? I understand the recognizing we both recognize valuable educators. We will make reasonable efforts to identify funds that may be available to provide. I don't want to say general only because I will try to identify any fund that I can use for
Okay.
salary increases. I provided additional compensation for educators, taking into account enrollment and budgetary challenges any such additional benefit should be subject to negotiations between parties and approved by the board, because everything that's regarding compensation has to be negotiated. So I'm not sure if you're okay. That's the last thing that I had, right?
So I think everything you submitted is pretty good. That last bullet, I appreciate that it goes for what we proposed. I think what we were looking for is because again, we talked about trust, right? And they're trusting in improving this, that they will see something, hopefully, it's providing some hope and a promise that they will see the salary increase as well as folks that are receiving this. So I think we'll have to talk about how we feel about that language, because when we caucus, I think we wanted something a little bit more there.
I cannot. We cannot put any guarantees right now.
Right, we understand that, it's more aspirational or goal.
And I was hoping to reach that with that language, and if you want me to caucus to give you time to talk, I will.
Yeah. We have 10 minutes,
Yes. It is.
and then do you have this in a version that we could actually sign without the highlights and everything?
Yes,
Okay.
I printed, I just gave you a couple, so I wanted to highlight what I changed, so that way you can go quickly to it. I have the two printed versions already without,
Okay.
without the draft watermark and without the highlights.
Okay.
And let me go ahead and pause to give you caucus time.
Okay.
It is now 4:20, we're pausing again for a 10-minute caucus. Thank you. It is 4:27, we're returning from caucus.
Okay, so we've reviewed all the language, we think it looks pretty good. We have one piece that we want to offer as a suggestion for improvement at the very last bullet.
Very loud.
Highlighted bullet.
Your highlight bullet, the recognizing the value.
Thank you.
Give me a, I got it, I got it highlighted. Hold on. Yes,
So. Really 3 words we want to adjust. So where it says LCS will make reasonable efforts, we want to cross out the word reasonable. So it'll read LCS will make efforts.
Cool.
And then where it continuing that sentence, to identify funds that may be, crossing out maybe and say are. Those are the only things.
I'm good.
Okay,
I'll make the changes now.
okay, wonderful. Wow, finally did it. Yay, yeah, I'm good.
Okay, our next meeting is August 5th, right?
Yes, give me a second, because I gotta, I
I'm
don't
gonna
want.
make those changes.
That's
Let me
fine.
make
Well,
that
and
call.
while you're doing that, Chris Martinelli says hi. He's saying hi.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
He can
He
see
posted
you.
in the chat, "Hi, everybody."
You can
I
wave
see
to
you.
him.
We have fans.
LCS, and take off the reason.
Now he's being embarrassed.
Right now, let's vote.
Done, make the changes, I just have to, I'm not print 2 copies. And they're going to my printer now. This is what,
Okay. I got it.
right, I made that change.
Perfect.
And. Okay, now I'm ready.
So your next meeting is scheduled for August 5th, right?
That's what I have on the books.
Okay, it wasn't on the agenda, so I wanted to make sure.
Exactly, the intent was to talk about the 2, and
Right.
so I wasn't, thank you. So the next meeting we have is August 5th, which is in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's set to be at your office, correct? Okay, that's confirmed. Yep, at 4 o'clock.
Yes,
Yep, I have it on in my calendar.
perfect.
And you'll be bringing Article 4 for your side, you said?
Yes, I'll have information on the referendum based on what you suggested.
Okay.
On the language proposed, and then the only piece that I need, because I need to submit to the state, we're gonna sign obviously, we're gonna sign the CTSIA. I'm gonna put it on the board for just board approval pending union ratification.
Okay.
Just for information purposes, I have to provide to DOE an update. All I'm gonna tell them is that the bargaining unit and the district have reached an agreement. It has been board approved as of Monday. Can you give me like when do you think you would put it for ratification? So that I can just put it on what I have to send to them.
Right, so speaking for myself, I haven't had a chance to talk to my team yet, so I'm not sure where they stand, but we want this to be successful. And so I think we need to put the referendum language and any other language we can with the CTSIA MOU as a package for ratification. So I think we're looking at obviously fall when employees come back. So we can give you a date once we look at our calendars.
Can you give me a range so that I can just put it in the document?
So
Preferably, I have to have something submitted to them as an update, but I have to have the plan in place by October 1st, so it has to be before
Why
that.
don't we make it week 15th?
It's gonna depend on when we meet because it's. So not
Oh.
ratify, we have to meet with the
Yeah.
reps.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
When's
we
the
don't
rep
have
meeting?
the 22nd.
The 22nd?
So I'll put a date, that's fine. If you want me to put the last, you want me to put a range between September 15th and September, what's the last day of September?
We just.
30th.
yeah, so I mean, we will try our best.
In
So
August.
we can't give a guarantee, but September 15th, September 30th.
Okay, that's all I'm doing is giving them an update,
Okay,
okay? So at least I gives you a timeline, I have to give them some information.
We're gonna make it easy.
And
yeah, we'll make reasonable.
so right, I'll put it in those words.
Yeah.
That's not reasonable.
They're the ones that put this language, so,
Right.
but their guidance is that I have to give them an update,
Right.
so.
Mhm.
We are in place, so we're fine, we're meeting the staff, we're fine, it's just I have to give them an update.
Right, I understand.
So I wanna make sure that I don't overstep, but I'm asking you, so I'll do that.
Okay.
September 15th, September 1st.
Okay, sounds good.
Anything else?
I don't think we have anything else at the time.
Well,
We're good.
thank you
Thank
we'll continue working hard and see you August 5th
Sounds good.
on the next
Oh,
bargaining
wait,
session.
I have one question.
Yes,
The August, 5th, you're gonna have the summer MOU too?
yes, please put that on, bring that, I'll have that for that.
And good luck with pre-planning, everybody.
Okay.
So fast.
Thank you.
Well, this concludes bargaining for July 23rd. It is 4:34. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect timing. Yeah.